Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Rising Star 2 with the band Inches from Glory. Sorry, I started to say the old band name. Didn't want to do that. So we're going to pick up right where we left off. We're just moving on through our first month of existence as a band. We're going to do some landscaping. And I want to see if he changes his shirt. I did go ahead and adjust. You'll notice they're wearing something a little different, each of them. I did adjust for busking. And so tomorrow we'll see if they put on their busk gear. But he should be wearing, there it is. He's wearing the Inches from Glory t-shirt because he is working. And that's what we set in the previous episode. So I did the clothing modifications in between episodes. I wasn't sure if I did them right. Looks like maybe I did. His avatar does have him in a gray shirt again. So looking forward to seeing what happens there. I think it's time to go to the music store and legitimately see what we can repair. Probably an important step for us. And we have a touch of cash. Maybe we can buy something. We'll see. First, let's see what needs repairing. You know what? That's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I thought we were going to be really, really bad shape here. We don't want to repair anything that's not in use, but everything has an icon next to it, so we're using everything. We're going to repair everything. We have $1,000 left. Incidentally, refurbishing, if we haven't covered it yet, what refurbishing does, well, first of all, repair bumps things up to their max condition. Refurbishing will increase the max condition to 100 and also repair to that level. That's why it's a lot more expensive right now. We have some equipment that's not in very good shape, and it would cost quite a bit to get all that done. So let's come out here. I usually, anytime I'm in a music store, I will usually have them look at their consumables just to make sure we're not lacking somewhere. Not all of them need consumables. And we seem to be okay there. Which strings are these? Not seeing that same one. So it's a 2-2, not playing. Yeah, so we'll hold off. Hopefully we've got strings, right? She's got at least two of everything. That'll be fine. Topher drumsticks always seem to be my Achilles heel. And nothing there. He also will go through drum heads. Those are a consumable. Do a little bit with writing music. We're kind of holding off on that with him for now. And Xavier doesn't have anything to help him with that. He got a pretty great mic right off the bat, though. If you recall, we only paid $379 for it. Hard to pass that up. It's in decent shape. Let's see if we can get him any help elsewhere. So playing is always important, but a 10 out of 77 condition, maybe going to pass on that. Here's one, $78. It'll give him a +1 play. It's not a lot, but it's something. We're going to go ahead and go with it. We have been bumping up his business in the last level. Topher is the other one that maybe could use just a touch of help there. And playing, not bad, but that was a 10 again. I'd really prefer like some +2s that are affordable. There's a +3, 630 though. That's 60% of our reserves. We are not doing that. In fact, I think maybe we call it good for now. We've checked on consumables. They should be good. And we did do some repair. So we're going to go home and do what we do best. Practice and merge, but practice. Into our beautiful music room. Oh, we bought some artwork and we didn't put it anywhere. Let's do that. Just the apples. And we're going to put that right there. Yeah, that'll work. Writing a song, developing ideas. I'm going to go ahead and just do top to bottom this time. I'm not going to spend 30 minutes of your time merging these. Just hit things that I see, and I don't always see them, folks. It's just, yeah, it's where I am. There we go. Pardon me. We can do some 10s. So we're starting to get some pieces here. You'll notice that we have some parts that are starting to look like we could maybe make a reasonable quality song. And I would say in the next month, we will be doing that. And probably within 2 months, we'll be hitting 100. Let's practice. Okay, so we learned we have about, 34 points? We just added a couple of points Probably won't make a big difference, but we'll go ahead and I think what we want to do, so if it was, that would be 5 points each. We're going to trying to figure out how to do this. Let's do 4. Yeah, let's go ahead and do 4 songs, get those bumped up, and then we'll figure out what to do with all the little bits. 9 points each. 9 times 4, 36. Oh, good, good. That works. Okay. More of the same. Oh, we're going to busk, right? We wanted to busk and see if they all threw on their busking shirts. If I did it right. So I followed the instructions on what it said on the question mark there. I set it how I wanted. I saved it, and then I set it to the task. And it worked. Yes. Oh, I didn't know I had him in gray. I did know I had the drummer in yellow because drummers are weird. And if you're a drummer, I think you probably agree. All right. That's good. I don't think we have any other outside stuff to do today because we're just kind of heads down. I do like to get to the end of the first month and see how attitudes adjust. So I kind of want to see what we have. We have conformity, trust, and tradition are the national ones. And then locally we have homegrown. Let's see what happens when we have an overnight. Some of those may change. What we'll see, anytime you change states or that, this will kind of get a flame around it. And that's to kind of alert you that something's different. And we should see that happen overnight. Something should change. Okay. More merging. Again, let's do bottom to top this time. Like I said, what I discover in my personal playthrough is I tend to neglect the melodies, and it isn't a bad idea to try to keep them balanced so that you can write good songs when you need to and you have the right parts with the right puzzle piece. Okay, that's going to do it there. We will start writing some more songs here very, very soon. What we saw 9 points each, right? Well, let's do that again. We do have a gig coming up, right? Okay, we got a couple of days. So let's go ahead and do our best with getting these up to snuff. Part of me wants to say let's even skip that one for now because we may not have enough time to get it all the way up. Let's see. Generally, we're going to want to spend one day where we practice everything just to make sure that they don't decrease the day before. So yeah, I think we're in actually really good shape here. Yeah. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to have everything in the 90s at the very least that we want to play, and we'll see what happens. We could burn the audience out because we only have red songs right now. Let's go outside one more time. Oh, let's go ahead and adjust his appearance real quick. So I'm going to load busk gear. It does have inches from glory. Oh, it isn't set here though. There we go. That should work now. So when he goes outside, everybody but Topher should be in that, although I do want to change his default again. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So let's go back to default. Default is the default. You can go no shirt, by the way. You can also go no pants. And if you do that, it gives you a sensory advisory. I kind of thought that was funny. Parental advisory. There you go. Sensory advisory? No, not a sensory advisory. And that's his default gear. So he should be wearing that. But when we busk, it should be the white t-shirt now. It is not. Yeah, I messed that up again. So it's a little finicky. I'm probably not doing it exactly how it's intended. And that's the breaks. We'll get it figured out. For me, that's kind of a form sort of thing. And I tend to be function before form. So not something I'm going to lose sleep over myself. Okay, we did advance a month. I forgot to look here. Let's take a peek. Did any of the attitudes change? We have conformity, trust, tradition, Homegrown. Nothing changed for us. Yeah, that's not a bad thing early on because it allows us to focus on the pieces of songs in that we're currently writing. But what we can do is we have our lyricist Angel here. Maybe we want to keep her consistent for now, although none of these things are currently green. So maybe we want to change one of these to be green. We have conformity, trust, tradition. I'm trying to remember what my opposites are. Digital is unplugged. So we could change it and it wouldn't affect anybody. Everybody should have these same settings right now, and they all do. So we're going to change her to one of them that are currently popular. Let's go with conformity. The opposite of conformity is, I would have to think, defiance. Yeah. Defiance is not one that is on our list, so that should be good. I'm gonna do digital to conformity for her. There we go. And that'll be green for her now. And Xavier's kind of my other songwriter in my mind. And I think maybe let's change him to trust. Let's get rid of outcast and go to trust with him. So we have two folks that have attitudes that are getting written. Now, from a point perspective, he's not a songwriter yet, but a lyricist yet. But my intent is that's probably where he will put most of his points. The other three, Topher, Kiwi, and Chad, will focus on writing music. They'll all touch on both, but that's kind of where I aim to begin with. Okay. Into the front room here, 55 points to work with. We'll go top to bottom today. And I think probably in the next day or two, we'll start writing some new songs. And they should be songs that are of more substance that we can really get behind and start to expect to do well. There was a bounce. But we're already down to where I can't even do tens. So that's the downside. Like I said, I tend to prefer homegrown songs. I just like that kind of feel to music. Makes me think of John Cougar Mellencamp, aka John Mellencamp. We just had a power outage here, folks. Sorry about that. My UPS kicked in. Okay, let's keep going. Out of points. Yep, sorry, I need to do ones. Okay, one more of those. And now we're going to go practice. We'll try to get to that gig on Friday. I'm really looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and I think we can mostly wrap these all up. I think we can practice everything and we should be good. So we now have 2 songs at 100. We will easily have a third. I think we'll have 5 out of our 6 songs will be at 100 and this one will be at 90. And we'll see what kind of impact that has on things as we move forward. Okay, I would like to go mow that lawn down there. Let's see if we pass anything interesting in the meantime. We will go in for a photo shoot soon. I just like to have a little bit more money. That feels like an indulgence early on. A lot of people, that's like the first thing they do, and they use that picture for their background and their album cover and that, and absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just not my jam. Probably should hit a garage and see how much I've torn up the car. We can do that after this. And at least there he's wearing the right shirt. I'll see if I can get that fixed. I had corresponded with the developer at Gilly Games, Todd, several years ago, and he basically, hey, we don't have any condition damage. That's good. We will paint the van eventually, just not today. But anyway, what I was saying is I had talked with him a couple of years ago. I'd emailed with him a couple of times, and he had basically indicated to me that he was kind of done working on it. And I thought he meant like he was done working on it, but he's had, I don't know how many updates in the last 2 years. I assumed, chapter closed, I'm moving on to other stuff. And he's continued to put out, we've got new areas now, South America being the newest one you can go and explore. He added, I'm pretty sure the clothing thing where you can set to specific events in that's all kind of new, having multiples. I think that all came in after I had that conversation via email with him. So I would love to maybe see if I can find a time where he and I can sit down and just talk about the game and bring that to you in this channel. That would be a lot of fun, I think. Okay, we are almost done there. We are now done there, and we are practicing for the last time before our gig. We practiced everything yesterday, so we should be fine on those, and these should all bump up. This one won't be quite ready, but we're getting there, and then we can start writing some more songs. We have a gig today, and everything is max. Now, this is one where the difficulty is enough that we can't quite learn it to its maximum. That's what that's telling me. Just to give you an indicator of that. Let's go play this gig. I forgot where it said it was. Fortunately, we have turn-by-turn instructions for the most part. And you will learn your map, particularly, obviously, the smaller ones, way, way easier. But I know, I still remember like some of my first maps that I played on where different places were, the venues I wanted to get to the most and things like that. Okay, here we go. Second gig, not expecting a lot. Didn't really see any attitudes popping up, and that's okay. We're not very popular here. That's a look. We're going to play our gig, and we're not going to change anything. I don't see a reason to change anything. You'll notice we still don't have a lot of popularity. We could do some more gigging to drive that up a little bit more. Maybe not the worst idea, but let's start the gig. This time it'll go 4 times faster. I did set the multiplier. And okay, we're seeing a little bit more normal energy dispersal. And you'll notice we're already at 20% with a couple of songs left to go. And we did burn the audience out. We hit 0 there. So we're going to have to factor that in the next one. That's good. We want to be there. We want it to be where the audience is charged. I really didn't think that was going to happen, if I'm being honest with you. The size of the audience absolutely is a factor. It's hard to determine exactly what the factor is, and it has to do with reputation and popularity and how good your songs are, things like that. But do know, if we were playing in front of 20,000 fans, we would not have gotten an interest level to 29%. Absolutely not. And I said fans, I meant people in attendance, like if we were the undercard there. Okay. We sold a shirt for $8. That's awesome. Anything else fun happening here? Not really seeing it just yet. 10 fans in attendance. Good. And there we go. Kind of what we expected. Now, that last one is important. The audience had little or no energy left when you played this high energy song, so they were not into it. If you recall, that song did pretty well last time. I think it got three faces, which is what we expected. But you'll notice that interest went down because they ran out of energy, and they ran out of energy. And we weren't even close on energy. They were at 7% when we started playing it, and we were losing. Here was 19. What's that? That's 16. Yeah, we were doing well with the energy. You'll notice that the enjoyment of the song based on faces did influence that number just a hair, but it will tend to standardize at about 30 for red songs. What I think I see is if you have something that's a little bit more of a hit, it might burn a little bit more than 30. It's fractional. It's like, might be 31, 32. But at the end of the day, that can add up. I do not like to make it where the math works out to where it goes below 5, and I have paid the price even then. So just something to note. But otherwise, there we have it. A much bigger, better gig. I think we're going to go home. We're going to merge. We're going to write a song. because that's where we are now. We need to write a yellow song, don't we? Let's get one of those firing up. And we do have a blue that's about ready to go practice-wise. Let's start focusing on some of these better lyrics and see what we can come up with. Come on, threes. I'd like threes. Okay, and we're down to ones. There it is. We're going to construct a song now. Let's see what we can do. Well, the best melody we have is a 10, so that's a factor. What I usually will do, and we've talked about this, but just to reinforce it, I will usually go for the opposite corners first. And I don't have a whole lot to pick from, so it's not like this is going to be super huge. This is our best piece, ironically, by Xavier. That's interesting because he's not really known for his music writing. So good on him. Let's go with that, and we'll pick a melody that's as good as we can get. And then we just kind of fill in the gaps in between. So we'll come up here, take that 6. Come back down to lyrics, and we'll take that 10. It's a digital song, 46 quality. So still not, hitting the max marks, but we're doing okay. I'm perfectly happy with a 46 quality song at this point in our career. And I think we're going to call this song Wi-Fi in the Wilderness. Hope we haven't used that. I don't think we've named any of our songs yet, but with this one being one that actually has some quality behind it, we're going to do that. Pedro Groom from the band The Dead Rates. We're having a gig coming up that we thought you might be interested in playing with us. I love that idea. We don't have to go out and do any of the work. That's today. I guess that's okay. We can play a gig today. Just surprised me. I don't know when I've ever seen it be the same day. So we will go ahead and do that. We now have a gig we got to go play. And we're going to pass on that. I'm going to play that very first thing in the next episode. We're going to save off right here, and we will pick up at this point. Oh, we have another one. Garrett Rooney from The Busy Moon wants to know if we want to play with them on next Saturday. 6 songs. I think we can do that. We won't get paid for it at all, but we can sell some shirts. And we're getting some exposure, and that is important. Okay, we're going to save right there. And thank you for joining me. This is Rising Star 2. The band is Inches from Glory. Do appreciate you joining me. And until next time, fair travels.